What's going on? I just wanted to make another YouTube video just talking about stuff I've been thinking about. Something recently I've been thinking about is me being comfortably complacent in where I'm at in life and what that's caused, and what I'm doing to fix it. Because for the last few years I have been just riding the wave of complacency and being comfortable while doing it because I haven't tried to get out of it until now. So I ended up joining the Navy around 2015, and I joined when I was in high school. I didn't have the job that I wanted, so I left a few months later. But I did end up working a couple jobs right before I went to the Navy, like McDonald's and like a sign spinner or whatever, but that only lasted a couple months until I went off to the Navy. And when I got to the Navy, I just ended up being more of a do my job and go home kind of guy. I worked in the medical field. Well, I still work in the medical field, but generally my idea was that I would do my job to the best of my abilities and then go home. Now they do want you to do extracurricular activities to make sure you get ranked higher, but I never really saw that as a good opportunity, because there's only a certain amount of evaluations that are high ranking that you can get, and if everyone in your work center is doing XYZ, and you don't get that eval, you did that all for nothing. And my mindset was, I'm not going to be one of those people that does all these things and gets nothing for it. So basically, if you wanted a good eval, you would need to do your job very well. You would need to go volunteer your time. You would need to go to school. You would need to pick up collateral duties, which are basically extra jobs that are somewhere in your work center. And these jobs can be intensive and have you doing a lot of things like training, making sure everyone's training is up to date, doing the waste products, doing jobs that seem to be jobs that the Navy doesn't want to pay for, so they'll push them off on people that want to get good evaluations, so they can get free labor. Now that was my thinking, and I still do think that, because if you have us doing all these extra things and you only have a certain amount of evaluations, and you have 5 sailors that do XYZ and really put their heart and soul into all these other things besides their job, and you only have 1 or 2 of these high-level evaluations, that's really disheartening to those sailors. And I didn't want to be one of those people. So for the last few years, I've only done what I needed to do and went home. Now, that was not the best use of my time, because up until recently, I never really did much in my spare time to better myself. I didn't really go to school that much or study or anything, because I was just comfortably complacent in my job and what I was doing, just day in, day out, thinking, oh, I'm good. I have to be here at this time, here at that time. I have free time from this to this. I didn't really have a care in the world, you know. But in the last couple of years, when COVID happened, I really wanted to get into school. So I started taking classes and things like that, and I ended up really liking it. I took some Japanese classes, Japanese 1 and 2. I had a lot of fun. I'm still taking a lot more classes. I got my associate's degree, Now I'm working on my bachelor's, but I'm just making this video because being comfortably complacent kind of leaves you in the background, you know. You're not working towards anything, and that was me for a while. And I did that for years, man. Like, I could have already had my degree, and I could have been out of the Navy by now. But that's not the way things went. My past self didn't really care, but now I do. So, if you're in a similar situation, I recommend that you think about what you like and try to put effort into that, because I like anime. I like cats. I like Japanese culture. I like helping people. I like working medicine. So what I did was take Japanese, start learning the language, so I can actually go there by myself and get around fine, which I plan to do when I get out of the Navy. The only reason I'm still in the Navy is because I have a condition with my legs that I had to get surgery on, and I had surgery about a month ago. And the Navy won't really let you get out without being solid enough, you know, medically to be on your own. And I was having problems when I was walking, and I had a lot of pain. So I had an operation on my right leg to remedy that situation. And right now I'm just trying to build my strength back up in my leg and be able to walk on it. But in that time that I have still in the Navy, I'm taking 3 classes right now. One is the upper level class, and it is hard, but you have time. Generally, when I work in the hospital, I only work from around like 8, or actually 7:30 until 1600, sometimes 1700. But after that, it's all my time, and I use that time to do my schoolwork. I use it to practice my Japanese more. Try to do things with this camera that I'm not so good at, you know, just trying to learn things. But being comfortably complacent just leaves you in a standstill in time. And I guarantee you do not want that, because you'll end up looking back and saying, what did I do all these years? I didn't really do anything, you know? And that's how I feel. Looking back, I'm like, you're an idiot. You had every opportunity to go to school for free while you were in the Navy, but you didn't take it. So now I have to use FAFSA, which is financial aid, which helps me, because when you're a year away from getting out of the Navy doesn't pay for your college anymore with tuition assistance. They recently changed that. So I no longer have support from the Navy to go to school. But I had that for a couple years, and I didn't take advantage of it, which is a idiot mistake. I'm a complete idiot for that. But I'm making up for it, and that's just the way things are right now. But I do hope somebody watching this video thinks to themselves, hey, I do have this opportunity to do X, Y, and Z. I might as well give it a go. You know, worst thing that could happen is, you know, you end up not liking it. You end up like doing a little bad in the class or whatever it is. But just doing it will, you know, possibly give you another skill, possibly make you more competitive, possibly put you on the path to a new job, you know, or take you somewhere new. Being complacent is, it's just waiting for your end, you know. So I really just wanted to get on here and talk about that, because I've been reflecting recently, and I'm just like realizing what I did and what I didn't do. But there's always options, you know. I know there's people that go back to school when they're 30 or 40 years old. My dad went back to school and he got his degree when he was a police chief. He was a chief of police, going to school, getting an education. And I think about that a lot when I was like trying to get into school and things like that, because I was really afraid of, not only was I comfortably complacent, but I was afraid of change, because I thought I was stupid. Sometimes I still do think I'm kind of dumb, but I'm able to pass these classes. I've only had A's and B's. I got a B in like biology, but that was kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. It was like introduction to biology, and I got a B in that class because I'm not gonna lie, some of that stuff is hard to stick when you're taking a test, but I managed to do it, you know. And you just need to put in a little bit of effort, you know. Hour here, hour there, Pomodoro technique, give yourself like 30 minutes and then a 5-minute break and you're good. You can just keep going. And it also helps if you actually enjoy what you're doing, you know? Like when I was taking Japanese, I was actually really enjoying learning that language. I was watching anime that I've watched before, and I would turn off the subtitles and just listen to what they were saying, and I would remember what they were saying, like the context of what they were speaking, and I would just listen and see if I could pick out the words that I knew and say, oh yeah, that's what that was, or this was this, things like that. And it also helps if you have like friends to practice with, but I don't know, it just, when you're learning something, it takes you out of where you are and brings you somewhere else. And I suggest everyone does that, you know. Even if you don't want a degree, you know, just study something by yourself. You can even go on YouTube and learn a bunch of things. And, you know, you don't really have to get a college education to do a bunch of things. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I wanted to get on here and talk about. So I hope my words, you know, help somebody get out of like, hey, I am like going down this path and not really going anywhere. I'm just going straight ahead with the status quo. And I hope I've helped a little bit or something, you know. Who knows? Maybe no one watches this. But anyway, peace.